watching Victory Outdoors, proudly presented by Mossy Oak.
This deer season was honestly probably the hardest deer season of my life. I put in more time than I think I ever have, and more sits, but yet I struggled to get the opportunities that I usually look for. Throughout the summer, my game plan is I spread out trail cameras on a whole bunch of different farms that I can hunt. Then, once I find one buck that I want to chase, I end up honing into that area and then try and figuring that deer out. Well, this year, I was hunting a small 10-acre tract that happened to have the biggest deer I was on, and I ended up calling him Jim. The reason I call him Jim, because every time I got a picture of him, I tried texting my buddy saying, hey, I got a picture of him, but my phone would always autocorrect to Jim, because that's my dad's name. So that's how I came up with the name for this buck. I hunted really hard all season through October into November and even through December with my bow. Well, then came January, I had my late muzzleloader tag, I put the bow up, just trying to fill a tag for the year.
Well, it's New Year's Eve here in southern Iowa, and it's about 5 below zero. You can probably see my breath right now, it's so cold. We're sitting over some standing beans, and I have a number of doe tags from a bow and muzzleloader in my pocket, plus both any-sex tags left. Running a wide 9 tonight, an old 8.5-year-old 9-point tonight. We're gonna sit back and just hope the right buck comes out here for us tonight. A first for me. There's a shed buck out there, but I've had shed bucks come out before, but there was a buck in velvet. I've never seen that before in December, almost January now, but it looks like it's like a year and a half old set of antlers. But I mean, who knows, could be a doe or, a buck that something's wrong with him or something, but that shed buck has me a little concerned because no question, he looks mature. So either it's the wide 9 I'm after or a buck that my boss Bo was after. So hopefully the buck I'm after still has antlers, because if not, I mean, we're sitting here for doing, I guess. I don't know, maybe unless something else shows up. Alright, it's 3 o'clock, and there's already deer down here in this bean field below the house. So what's going on? And I'm going to sneak down here to these cedars and just try to get into a spot and get settled in, where I can set up the camera and get comfortable so I can at least shoot most of the field. So we were up at the house earlier, and we're glassing at lunchtime, and we seen this big old 7 down here in the bottom, him and a couple other bucks with a doe. So hopefully he'll be coming out tonight.
I ended up sneaking down to the field, and just to a spot where I could at least see the field, set the tripod up. And sure enough, the deer started piling out. I moved slowly, got back into the cedars, slid down another 20 yards, got to another opening, and I could just see through some cedar limbs out there, and I pulled my binos up, and boom, out there was the big 7. So I set up, got the tripod set up, trying to focus through all the cedar branches still, find a lane to shoot and everything. And he fed his way across the beans, and he absolutely dwarfed every buck out there. After he fed out there for a bit, he worked his way in front of me, and I thought he'd keep going, but then he turned and walked straight away from me, so then I knew I had to get ready for a shot.
Look at those bases.
That is unbelievable. Look at that. Those bases, oh my good gracious.
Right when we first bought the farm, we found this antler. All right, now look at the base on that. This is spring of 2010. Let's just say he's 4, maybe 5. Fast forward to this last spring, which was 17, okay? The spring of 17, which would have been his 2016 antler. Look at this. Here it is right here. Same buck. Right there. You see the big, huge base. And how do we know? Well, antlers don't lie. You can see the texture. They're found a couple 100 yards apart. I would say, you know, it's definitely the same buck. Now, go to this deer. Look at this. And if we recap this, spring of 2010, so even if he was 4, if our math is right, that would put him at 12 years of age right here. And if with that giant 7-inch base we're off, that puts him at 5 or 6 years old, and that puts him as high as 13 to 14 years old as a wild whitetail here in southern Iowa.
Yeah,